So this is a summary of the start, really. We're talking about 1944. So we're talking about the last years of the Second World War. And Watson in particular said that a lot of people in his kind of circle found the experience totally shattering. Watson himself lost a few friends, a few vegetarian friends, and he became a conscientious objector. He said that I don't want to kill anyone, including our fellow animals, and so he said, I'll fight fires, but I won't fight in terms of having a gun. And so there was at least 3 of them that were conscientious objectors. What they tended to do was work for the fire service, this kind of stuff. It means that the money that they got paid was less, and it also means that they were kind of punished, you know, their rations were less, that kind of thing. But nevertheless. So what they founded was, I call it the ultimate peace movement. I often say that what did they do during the last years of the Second World War? They declared peace. Now Watson said in 1944 that people need to incorporate veganism into their peace aims. The war was coming to an end, and people were starting to think about the future, and they call that, what's that going to be, our peace aims. And Watson said we must incorporate veganism into all that. So veganism based on justice, non-violence, and I call it a kind of justice for all type movement. And one most important thing about what they stood for was this thing about the moral evolution of humanity. They thought, because they'd witnessed the Second World War, and some of them witnessed the First as well, they thought that humanity was in crisis, that humanity was now very, very violent, and they were trying to work out why that was. And this was even before they learnt about concentration camps and Hiroshima, Nagasaki, this kind of thing, right? And so they thought that veganism was part of the solution. So veganism as an idea and a philosophy grew and grew and grew to be a massive idea that would save everyone, essentially. So the moral evolution of humanity was a big idea that they thought that veganism represented. And then, if you can see that line there, this is about the language. So I'm using quite a lot of the early language of the pioneers. So we talked about 1940s, 1950s, and so obviously their language was sexist. They would say man instead of humanity, that kind of stuff. So what I tend to do is leave the originals, because I think audiences are sophisticated enough to understand that people are a product of their time, essentially.